Hi there, welcome to Nepi Invest. It's not every day that a company has a valuation of about $3 billion and is listed on three exchanges around the world: the ASX, TSX, which is a Canadian stock exchange, and the Nasdaq drops in value by 52% in one day, and it dropped in value by over 50% in all three exchanges. And whenever I see this happen to a company, particularly a large company like SSR Mining, I am going to try to understand why. And the reason I want to understand why is the possibility whether the market has completely panicked or overreacted, leading to a possible situation where there might be some good value at play. So let's discover why SSR Mining share price dropped 52%, and then I'll discuss whether I think there might be some value in this company moving forward. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really follow mining news closely or even at all. And on the morning of February the 14th, SSR Mining released two announcements on the ASX, both marked non-market sensitive. So I do my filters. So these two announcements totally were filtered out from my morning. So the first announcement was released at 8:17 a.m., multi-year guidance and technical reports for operating assets. And then at 8:20 a.m., they released this particular announcement, announcing the suspension of operations at one of their mines in Turkey. Now, you notice the date here, February 13th. Because they have listed on the Canadian Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, this particular news release was released on February 13 in those two countries. So they have suspended mining at one of their mines because of a large slip on the heap leach pad. Now, interestingly enough, and this occurred on the morning of February 13 at approximately 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I presume is American time, not Turkish time. Now, just by reading this announcement, it doesn't seem that serious, just a large slip on the heap leach pad. So I decided to dig a little bit deeper because the share price collapsed by 50% to see if there's anything else out there. And that's when I found, just by simply Googling, way more information out there. And it's a lot more serious than what the company is letting on just by this simple announcement. Now, a simple Google gave me all the information I needed. And instead of using or getting an article from Washington Post or New York Times, I decided to go straight to mining.com just because I like this title. SSR Mining stock sinks on Turkish gold mine disaster. Are they being a little bit dramatic, calling this a disaster? And I say absolutely not, because according to Turkey's energy ministry, 9 workers are missing because of this. What was it called? Leach pad or heap leach pad slip. So if you just focused on the company's news release, nothing too dramatic. It's just a simple slip. That's all. So there's suspended operations because of this slip. But it's a lot worse than that, particularly when you're dealing with potential loss of life. And the market hates uncertainty, hates it with a passion. And this completely increases the uncertainty around this company moving forward. It increases the uncertainty around this particular mine. And who knows if the company is at fault in regards to this particular slip, they could have to pay significant compensation to the families of these workers who might have died. And that could be some serious compensation, and that could be a serious hit to this company. Now, more than likely, it's only going to be a short term hit, say a one off payment, that sort of thing. But we don't know what's going to happen to this mine. Now, thankfully for the company and its shareholders, SSR Mining is diversified. And a lot of times when a disaster like this happens, it increases the safety precautions a company will implement in their other mines. So in the long term, this could be beneficial for SSR Mining in a weird way. So has the market overreacted? Not necessarily so, because we just don't know the damage just yet to the company. There is potential, just potential, that this particular mine could be closed forever. We just don't know. And because the market absolutely hates uncertainty with a passion, I think the market is justified right now. But those risk takers could see some value. They could believe the market has overreacted and they could buy in right now with a valuation 50% less than it was the previous day. Now, fun enough, if you look at the chart for SSR Mining, share price was in a downtrend before this particular disaster. In fact, the share price started to move into this well-defined downtrend in late October, early November. You can see a massive peak in volume, and the share price dropped seriously. I think it was the 1st of November, one of the first trading days of November. So the company must have released some bad news from performance of their mines or something like that. Share price at that point in time was or went from about $22 to $18. So now the share price is around $7. In fact, the share price closed at $7.05, near the low of the day. In fact, it might have closed at the low of the day. So that is a really bad one-day candlestick when the share price closes at the low of the day. It means a lot of selling continued during the day, and there is potential the selling could continue in the next few days. But the valuation of this company has now dropped to $1.4 billion. You have to be careful. I'm telling you right now, if you go to CommSec website, they'll say the market cap is, I'm just looking at it right now, they say the market cap is 82.5 million, and that is before this 50% drop in share price. Market index would say the share price or the market cap is around about $40 million or so. And that only includes the shares that are issued on the ASX. It does not include the shares issued on the NASDAQ and the TSX. So you do have to be careful what platform you look at. If you go to Guru Focus or any international exchanges, they will give you the real market cap of this company, which is about 1.4 billion, which includes all the shares issued on all three international exchanges. So just be careful if you do any valuations around this company, because if you looked at the valuation on CommSec or Market Index, you might think this is the cheapest company that we have ever seen in the world. That is all I have around this particular disastrous day for SSR Mining. Share price down 52%. Hopefully, best case scenario, they find these 9 workers safe and sound. But at this point in time, it does look quite grim, and this is definitely a mine disaster for the company to deal with. And these are uncertain times for SSR Mining moving forward. And again, the market hates uncertainty, and that's why the share price has dropped 52%. If you have any thoughts, any questions around this company, first time I've actually looked at this company, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who's qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.